Of course, this kind of hardship wasn't confined to country folk. Poverty and hunger also blighted industrial communities throughout Victorian England, and at least there was an alternative source of food in the countryside. Country children discover a great many edible things in the hedges and fields which are unknown to those who dwell in the towns. They can usually find something or other to munch at all times of the year. In the spring they eat the large buds and young leaves of the hawthorn, commonly known as bread and cheese, which are quite palatable. Later they devour primrose and cowslip petals and stems, the juicy leaves of the sorrel. Afterwards they dig up the underground nuts and eat them too, and often bite a crowfoot bulb by mistake, which is remarkably hot and pungent. Then in the summer there is the fruit of the maple tree, hatchets and billhooks, crabs and wildens, and in the autumn blackberries, acorns, beech and hazelnuts. When these are gone, there remain slans or sloes, pegels, hawthorn fruit, hypsons, the wild briar berries, and the rich berries of the yew. All these things are gathered and devoured by the youngsters of the countryside, to say nothing of raw wheat and barley, peas and beans with turnips, swedes, and mangolds from the field. The village school stands in a field near the road. There the little mites of children toddle off each morning to acquire the rudiments of learning, such as is deemed necessary to equip them for the struggle with life and circumstance. A few of these are farmers' children. Part of them belong to the mechanic or artisan class employed on the railway or at the distant town, but the majority are the offspring of farm labourers. Some of these dwell in the lanes, some in the fields near at hand, and some at the cottages on the far-away farms. These bring their dinner in little baskets or handkerchiefs and eat it sitting down under the hedgerows in summer or in the lobbies or schoolroom in winter. These children's fare is simple: bread and butter or lard, jam or treacle. The children, when they go to church on Sundays, are dressed with a neatness and good taste that are simply astonishing when one recalls the income of a labourer on the Cotswolds, seldom, alas, averaging more than 14 shillings a week. It's a pretty sight to meet the country children coming or going from school. There is much that is exceedingly quaint and picturesque in them, and primitive too. They are bright-looking, fresh and well-kept. Some of the little maids from the farm buildings are very quaint and old-fashioned, both in feature, general appearance and behaviour. They put one in mind of the figures on the old willow-patterned chinaware. Their parents are poor, and they reflect their comparative poverty. They have not been pampered and spoiled, one can see that. Their very bareness and humility force you to sympathise with them. Their cheeks are rosy and firm, the eyes strong and deep, the stature short and stunted, the whole physique hardy and natural, not drawn up like a hothouse plant, and spectacles are very rarely met with in the case of true farm labourers' offspring. The boys are of corresponding appearance. They too are short in stature. Nature always rears a sturdy, hardy plant, generally thick, robust and well set. Their hair is usually long and bristly, sticking up for fine weather, as they jokingly say, and home cut.